Okay, we're going to do a table. And sometimes they do tables and use Word, and Microsoft actually has more capabilities as far as doing sheets and doing tables, and you can actually create some nice tables inside Docs and have more flexibility. But we're using Google, and if you use Google Docs, you cannot have the same capabilities and things that we can do with spreadsheets. So we're going to use Google's spreadsheet program, which is called Google Sheets. We've done some work already. But we're going to make this player personnel form. Alright, so we're going to start, and I've got multiple windows already open, but we're going to go ahead and I'm going to kind of skip some steps and not show the whole way, because I've actually typed in information already to do this a little bit more quickly, so you don't have to sit there and watch this for too long. So you can either open up Google Drive and then click on New and do Google Sheets, or you can go to the waffle and click on Sheets. So the first, and we're going to do a blank new document. Alright, so it's opened up, and you can see player personnel, first name, last name. These are two cells or two columns, but you can't just put two columns in because you're not going to have room to add the three columns. And actually, if you put, you're going to have to add an extra column for the space, and I'll show you why. So the widest one is 3 plus spaces for each one, so you're actually going to have 6, and I'll show you how that looks. So you're going to always put them in the left corner first, and then when you expand these player personnel form, it won't delete your information. So watch, if I click on this, 1 2 3 4 5 6, you can hold the shift key down, or you can click and drag across, and here's your merge right there. Merge the cell. If I would have had that information in the second cell in B, it wouldn't have taken it. So let's do Social Security number. So if I did Social Security, and I'm actually, since this is going to cover 1 2 3 cells, if I merge this, oops, if I merge this and have information in both cells, it's going to tell me it only takes the top left value, so it actually will delete the second section. So we want to make sure we always put it on the left side. So this second one is 3 cells, and the reason we do that is because in here I actually put information in I actually put the border on there, and I'll show you that in a second. If say for the next one, if you don't put in the right spot, so let's do city, state, and we're going to do zip. Say we want to put state over because we want to give extra space for the zip, and we want to move this over and slide it down. It's going to affect everything, right? It's going to affect my last name as well. So there's going to be 3 sections of information in there. So I actually want to, when there's 3, I want to cover 2 of the cells out of the 6. So I want to put city, state, and then the last one, zip code. So when I'm doing that and I merge these cells, it'll put it appropriately, and these will be three cells because there's only 2 sets of information. And this should be centered. And you can see now, if I move this over, I don't need to move it over because it's already in the right spot. It's actually perfectly in the middle, right there, from the one that has 2 sets of information. The one that is perfectly in the middle when I have 3 sets, because I looked at the cells and say, hey, there's 3 cells, but there's also 3 spaces with those cells that information need to go into it, and it balances out a little bit nicer. Okay, so I put all the information. This is what you should be looking at. This is exactly how it should turn out as far as where they go for each one of these sets of information. If you look at it, this is basically that document in the correct spot without any borders. Okay, and again, we need to make sure we merge this top one, cross 6, player personnel, Put that in there. Center a line. Bold. And let's make it 614. Looks like they make the font red. They don't put a border on that one. We can change that. Yellow with red text. So this is the text right here, text color. Red, and this is the fill color. And they don't want a border on this one, so we're gonna do it like this, just like how they have it. And by the way, down here on this one, put yes or no. Don't do boxes they have in there. Just put yes or no and have them circle one of them. All right, so we're gonna do borders. Here's your thickness of it, and this is what it's gonna look like. So we'll keep it on the thinner kind. And you can see there's a border at the bottom of that. And what they want, what they're showing, is that there's no just a top border and a side border and a side border. Right? That's the way it should look. Let's change that. There's no bottomness to this. Looks like that. And they put a top border in there, I think. Alright, so anyways, you can do it like that, the way they have it, or you can put a border all the way around it. And now we got to start merging these, like I said. We got to start merging, selecting the data, click and drag, or hold the shift key and select the first and last and hold shift while you're doing that. And then start going through all this. Alright, so here's what it looks like at the end. And I'm going to copy that so I can have that in there. Should look something like that. You're going to have to start graying these. So this is, select the cell where you need to gray. Go to the colors. We'll make it a lighter gray. These are all lighter grays in here. Phil, where's my paint can? There it is. And we're going to make that gray. And this should start looking a lot like that. It's like I have an extra cell in there. All you do is click on it and right click on it, and you can delete the row. I had an extra one in there, but that's alright. And last one. Alright, so now we're going to put the logo in there, right? And to do that, it's like I didn't follow through with these other ones over here. But what you have to do is insert image. I'd put it over the cells so you can change it wherever you want, and then upload it. Mine's on my computer, so I have to upload from computer, and go ahead and put that in there. I'm going to have to resize this. I'm sure it's going to be huge, right? And so I'm going to have to resize it and grab the corners to make it a little bit smaller. Where are you? Get in. Oh, there it is. Yeah, it took a little while because it's bigger. Click and drag, make it smaller, put it in there in the middle. And there you go, you got your document that looks pretty similar to that. And if you're not sure, the last thing that I need to make sure that you guys do, if you think the cells aren't big enough and you want to make them a little bit bigger, you can click and drag and select all the cells, and then you can format the size of these cells. So I think I could right click on this, resize rows. And then you can change it. I already changed it to 25. I think they came out like 15 or something like that, and they were too small. So I would definitely resize the rows, and I put them at 20. And the best way to check this, I did 25. Resize rows, 25. The best way to check them and see how it fills the page is just do a print, and it'll show you. If it goes to a new page, you need to make these cells a little bit smaller. Excuse me. Or if it's too narrow, you need to make them a little bit wider. So if you think you need to make these a little bit wider, just click and drag on A through F for the columns, right click, and then resize columns A through F, and we'll say it's 110. Let's see what that looks like. And we'll print, show a print preview. Yeah, that looks a bit like it fills the page a little better. And after you're done, just go ahead and upload it and send it to me. All right, good luck.